Welcome to part 2 of our review. I just wanted to go ahead and record the rest of this for you guys. Again, the video might go a little bit quick, so if you do have any questions, please feel free to um, ask me, or you can always fast forward or pause or rewind, whatever you need to do. Solve using the quadratic formula for this first one here. I want to subtract 6 from both sides, so I end up with x squared plus 19x plus 60 equals 0. And then I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I have x is equal to negative 19 plus or minus the square root of 19 squared minus 4 times 1 times 60 all over 2 times 1. So end up being x is equal to negative 19 plus or minus the square root of 361 minus 240 all over 2. Might run out of space here, so I'll erase afterwards. X is equal to negative 19 plus or minus the square root of 121 over 2. Now 121 is really 11. So this is going to be negative 19 plus or minus 11 over 2. So this will give me negative 19 plus 11 over 2, and then negative 19 minus 11 over 2. So negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4, or negative 30 over 2, which is negative 15. And those would be my two answers. Now that took up quite a bit of space, or I could have probably did it on the side, but I kept going with it. I'm going to erase in order to do 14. Hopefully you remember that quadratic formula here. I'll just write up here. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, I need to subtract that 10x in, make this in standard form, and then I can go ahead and go through my steps. So x is equal to negative 10, so positive 10, plus or minus the square root. Notice I said negative, so it's a negative in the problem, it's a negative in the equation, so it becomes a positive. Negative 10 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 21 all over 2 times 5. So x is equal to 10 plus or minus the square root. Anytime it's a negative squared, it's going to become a positive number, so 100. And then negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 20 times negative 21 is going to give us 420. So plus 420 all over 10. So x is equal to 10 plus or minus the square root of 520 all over 10. And I am going to take 520 and simplify it out. So 520 is really 10 and 52. 10 is 5 and 2. 52 is 4 times 13, which is then 2 and 2. So this is really going to be 2 root 5 times 2 times 13. 5, 2, and 13. Or 2 root 10, 130. So x is equal to 10 plus or minus 2 root 130 over 10. And then I can simplify. So 10, 2, and 10 can all be simplified down because they're all divisible by 2. So x is equal to 5 plus or minus root 130 all over 5. That would be my final answer. All right, number 15. 15 is unique because A is 4, B is negative 15, but C is 0 because there is no C value. So x is equal to negative b, so negative 15 is positive 15, plus or minus the square root b squared, so negative 15 squared, minus 4 ac, so 4 times 4 times 0, all over 2a, so 4 times 4. So x is equal to 15 plus or minus the square root of 225. Double check that. Yeah, 225. And then all of this becomes 0 because it's all multiplied by 0. All over 8. 225 is 15 times 15. So x is equal to 15 plus or minus 15 over 8. So 15 plus 15 over 8. So 30 over 8, which is 15 over 4. And then 15 minus 15 over 8, which is 0 over 8, which is 0. Okay, and last but not least, x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4ac, so 4 times 1 times negative 33, all over 2a, so 2 times 1. So x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4, and then 4 times trying to think here. 4 times 33. Man, I can't think. I have to break out the calculator. No. 132. That's it. Okay, so add 132 over 2. So x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 136. 136 divided by 2 is 68. So 2 and 68. And 68 is 2 and 34. 34 is 2 and 17. So I've at least got these twos. So this is really 2 root 2 times 17, or 2 root 34. So all over 2. So x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 34 over 2, which can be simplified. Okay, these all have 2's in them. 2, 2, 2. X is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 34. All right, finding the discriminant and determining the number of solutions. Remember the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. If it's greater than 0, there's 2 real. If it's equal to 0, there's 1 real. And if it's less than 0, there's no real or 2 imaginary. Okay, so b squared is 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8. A, B, C. So 25 minus 32, which is going to give me negative 7, which is less than 0. So no real solutions. 2 imaginary. This problem, I have to subtract the 2 over first. So I end up with 4x squared plus x minus 2 equals 0. So my b is 1, so 1 squared minus 4 times my ac, so 4 times negative 2. So I get 1. Negative 4 and 4 is 16 times negative 2 is positive 32. So I get 33, which is greater than 0. So I have two real solutions. I have to factor first. Or I have to foil. I'm sorry, I have to foil first. So I'm going to get x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 5. And then I have to move the 5 over. X squared plus x minus 11 equals 0. Now I can set it into my equation. So b squared, so 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 11. 1, negative 4 and 1 is 4. Negative 4, negative 11 is negative 40. Positive 44, so 44. So that gives me 45, which is greater than 0. So two real solutions. And then this last one, I have to subtract this over. So 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. So 12, negative 12 squared minus 4 times 4 times 9. So 144 minus 16 times 9, which is 144. Equals 0, which is 0, so one real solution. SOL solution. All right, there's those. I'm going to go through these 3 word problems. Again, if I go too quick, you can always back up, pause, rewind, do whatever you need to do. I apologize if there's any outside noise. I'm in a pretty big auditorium area. All right, the formula to show the height and time of an object in the air is given by this, where h of t is the height of the object and t is time. Find how long the object is in the air before it hits the ground. Okay, so I'm going to set this equal to 0. And I'm not even going to mess around with this. I mean, I could take out, I guess I could take out a 2 if I wanted to. Could take out a 2 if I wanted to. Do I want to? Why not? So 2 times negative 8t squared. It's not going to change my mind to use quadratic formula. It's 25. Okay, I'm still going to use quadratic formula. I'm going to use it with these numbers since I simplified. So x is equal to negative 24 plus or minus the square root of 24 squared minus 4 times negative 8 times 25 all over 2 times negative 8. You could also take out a negative if you wanted to. It's not going to make much difference. It's going to come out to be the same. X is equal to negative 24 plus or minus the square root of 576 plus 4 times 8 is 32 times 25, 800 all over negative 16. Okay, so negative x is equal to negative 24 plus or minus the square root of 1376 all over negative 16. Okay, so you could go 2 different routes with this. Since this is probably going to be on your calculator section, you can either do a decimal for each of these, or you could do the exact. I'm going to show you the decimal first, and I'll show you both. So essentially, negative 24 plus or minus. Actually, I'll show you the exact first. So this is going to be 1376 broken down. I would just go to the decimal now, guess I don't even mess with this. This is 4 times 344, which is 2 and 172. This is 2 and 2. And this is 2 and 86, which is 2 and 43. So I've got 1, 2, and that would technically be 86. So this would be 4 root 86. Which would then be, since I can take a 4 out of each of those, be negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 86 all over 4. Negative 4. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way that you could do it is you could do decimal, which we haven't really talked about too much in class. So essentially this would be like negative 6 plus or minus 9.3 over negative 4. So then you could do negative 6 plus 9.3 over negative 4 and negative 6 minus 9.3 over negative 4. This will give you 3.3 over negative 4. Which is negative 0.83 approximately. And then this is negative 15.3 over 4 over negative 4, which is 3.83 again. So, I mean, if it doesn't matter which one, the fact that they get the correct answer, I guess, right? Right. All right. 22. The length of the rectangle is 6 less than 5 times its width. The area is 767 square centimeters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. Let's draw this thing. One side is going to be x. The other one is 6 less than 5 times whatever that width is. So 5x minus 6, 767. Big thing that you need to know. Area is equal to length times width. 767 is equal to 5x minus 6 times x. 767 is equal to 5x squared minus 6x. 0 is equal to 5x squared minus 6x minus 767. Okay, I subtracted that over. I can do, if I want to, I can do guess and check with this. I know the quadratic formula now. I'm not going to worry about that. X is equal to negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 767 all over 2 times 5. So x is equal to 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 plus 20 times 677. 767, which is 15,340 all over 10. Add 36. And then I'm going to square root this. I bet it comes out to a good number. 124. Yep. So this is 6 plus or minus 124 over 10. Now here's the deal. This is going to become 6 plus 124 over 10, which is 130 over 10, which is 13. The other one is going to become 6 minus 124 over 10. That's not going to create a positive number. The dimensions in centimeters, okay? My width is going to be 13 cm. My length is going to be 5 times 13, which is 65, minus 6, so 59 centimeters. All right, and then 23. Suppose one leg of a right triangle is 4 more than the other leg. The hypotenuse is 4 times the square root of 13. Find the measure of the sides. Got one leg that's x, another that's x plus 4, and they've got another one that's 4 root 13. x squared plus x plus 4 squared is equal to 4 root 13 squared. So how I'm figuring that, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So x squared plus x plus 4 times x plus 4 equals 16 times 13. How'd you get that? 4 squared is 16, square root of 13 squared is 13. So now when I FOIL this, this gives me x squared again, and then 4x and 4x, so that's 8x. 4 and 4 is 16, and then this is 208. So now 2x squared plus 8x minus 196 is equal to 0. 192, sorry, 192. All right, I'm going to take out a 2. Squared plus 4x minus 96, because when I take out that 2, now it's something that, okay, I can factor this. I can use quadratic formula if I want to from here, but for now, I can factor this. 96 is 12 and 4, or 12 and 8, which become 4. So x plus 12, x minus 8. So 2 equals 0. That doesn't have a variable. It doesn't matter. X plus 12 is equal to 0. That's going to become x is equal to a negative number. No. And then x minus 8 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 8. I like it. Okay, so the sides are going to be 8 and 12. Because 8 plus 4 gives me 12. Which is kind of ironic because that's negative 12 is what it costs out. But oh well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, again, please let me know. Other than that, that's all I've got for you today. Take care, everyone.